Hi, everybody. What I wanted to share with you is an experiment that I was very excited to try and create. In 2016, I realized that it was going to be the 40th anniversary of the 1981 Brixton uprisings in 5 years' time. So I got together with a collaborator of mine, Chloe Osborne, and we decided to make this huge experiment come to life. And to cut a long story short, we thought that what we would like to do for the 40th anniversary this year of the 1981 Brixton uprisings was to create a community-led project that would shine a light on all of the things that led up to that point, but get the community to be involved in making acts of defiance and essentially enabling a group of people from the community to be the stakeholders to dole out money to the community for acts of defiance that they would then make and apply for. So to cut a long story short, we had a really deep kind of core ambition in the early days when we started in 2017, was to ensure that people who are coming in from across different walks of life, people who were sort of more positive around the stories of 1981 and people who were negative about that, we really wanted people to share their stories, and we wanted people to know what had actually happened in that time, and it was those narratives that we were particularly interested to capture. And we realized as we were kind of going into this project, it was just a huge project that we just could not contain or control. And after about 6 or 7 months of sort of working and talking to people, we formed a steering group of about 300 people, which was kind of joyful, but at the same time, absolutely bonkers to try and manage. And out of those people, we tried to work and find out what is it that people wanted to make and do for this humongous event that would be coming up in 4 years' time. And so the beginnings of the project kind of started. And essentially, it was a lot of self-organizing with a load of different people from large cultural organizations, service providers, activists, teachers, residents, business owners. It was important that we got them all together to come to these kind of ideas, feasts, consultations, where they could feed in their important views and opinions to this process, because we knew that it was just vital to have the community involved in the process to build it with others who had a stake. You didn't have to live in Brixton to be involved in it. You just knew that you just had to have a passion for making this thing happen in 4 years' time in Brixton to celebrate and commemorate the 1981 uprisings. And so out of that, we created some principles, some values. We created a human manifesto. We created the theory of change. And I just share my screen for the last remaining bits of my presentation, which is really around some of the things that are really important to us as 81 acts of exuberant defiance. What is 81 acts of exuberant defiance? Well, essentially, it's 81 things that we will bring about change by the community for the community. That could be a mural that's been shown up on the side of a wall that has been created by residents. It could be a small kitchen takeover with 2 older people reminiscing. It could be anything that the community wanted, and it had to be 81 of these things. And so it was a real important to have a radical reclaiming of heritage, to imagine, experiment, and create new futures together. So here we see how we kind of started with the steering group. And then outside of the steering group, we had these radical act makers who were really passionate to make things happen. And outside of that, we have the people who discover these acts. And outside of that, it's people who hear about these acts, which was really what we wanted to get to. So we always felt that, you know, art is not what you see, but what it you make others see. And with the themes that we had were respect, a tribute to fallen and future activists, regroup and renew to explore collective agency and the subversive act of togetherness. We did lots of reform building kind of workshops, and we've got some acts that are lined up that are really looking at calls to action. And most of these are really having difficult conversations with the police, particularly. We looked at resist, which is around exploring strategies of resistance. And again, these are lots of different creative arts projects and programs and murals and arts experiences that people want to do between now and next year. Some of them have already happened this year, and some of them will be happening next year. We're looking at revolution, affecting the change for ourselves and our own communities. And we look definitely at insight and incite, which is gaining insight to the events of 81 and exploring the action that has incited this whole process. And before I go, I just really want to leave you with whatever your take is on the events that happened in 1981. I kind of want to just leave you with a bit of a sort of a memorable sound and words from one of my favorite poets. So I'm going to play a little bit of poetry for you to hear. And I'd like you just to kind of, if you are able, feel comfortable, just to close your eyes for a minute and a half. Thank you.
It was a
Bear with me.
In April 1981, down in the ghetto of Brixton, that the Babylon them cause such a friction, that it bring about a great insurrection. And it spread all
over the nation. It was truly an historical occasion. It was event of the year, and I wish I had been there when we run riot all over Brixton, when we mash up plenty police van, when we mash up the wicked one plan, when we mash up the swamp 81. They make the ruler them understand that we not take no more of them oppression. And when me check out the ghetto grapevine, to find out all I could have find. Every rebel just a revel in them story. Them a talk about the power and the glory. Them a talk about the burning and the looting. Them a talk about the smashing and the grabbing. Them a tell me about the vanquish and the victory. Them said the Babylon them went too far. So we had was the born too care. And 1 and 2 innocent get mar. But what? That's how it goes sometime in a war, Easter. That's how it goes sometime in a war. Them say we burn down the judge, we could have burned the landlord. We burn down the judge, we never burn the landlord. When we run riot all over Brixton, when we mash up plenty police van, when we mash up the wicked one plan, when we mash up the swamp 81. Them say we commandeer car and we gather ammunition. We build with barricade and the wicked catch afraid. We send out with scout figure, find them where about, then we farm up with posse and we make we raid. We know them run gang go plan counter action. But the plastic bullet and the water cannon will bring a blam blam, will bring a blam blam. Never mind scar man, will bring a blam blam.
Thank you. Thanks very much.